Hi guys, Yasas ke kalosirtate, which means hello and welcome in Greek to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a refreshing watermelon drink. We're going to flavor it with Mastiha and with Rose. It's going to be so nice to cool down with on those hot summertime days. Perfect for a barbecue or just for your family to sit down and just relax and have a nice sip of something nice and refreshing and delicious. Let's get started. So we're going to start with making our simple syrup. I'm making a Rose and Mastiha flavored syrup. You don't have to make it this flavoring, but this is a really nice Greek infusion to this watermelon drink. So it starts off very simply, as the name goes, with a cup of granulated sugar. And I'm going to add it to my saucepan that already has a cup of water. And to that, I'm going to add a teaspoon or two. I like 2 teaspoons. I like to really have that taste of Mastiha. You can use this syrup to flavor any summertime drink. You could put it in iced tea. You could put it in really anything that you're making. So I have ground Mastiha here, but you can use the whole Mastiha kernels. So I'm going to put 2 teaspoons, like I said. And I'm just going to give this a mix. Now I'm going to bring this to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to reduce the heat to low and cook it for about 5 minutes or until the syrup really absorbs that Mastiha flavor. Then I'm going to take it off of the heat and I'm going to stir in a tablespoon of rose water. Now rose water and Mastiha are sold in specialty food stores that sell Middle Eastern, Mediterranean, or just Greek specialty foods. If you cannot find it in a local market, then I'll put a link underneath this video down below so you can get it on Amazon. So once the syrup is made, if you want to quick cool it, you can put it in a big bowl that's full of ice and that'll cool it down really quickly. But you can definitely make this a few days ahead of time and keep it in your refrigerator in a mason jar or something like that. You can strain it also so that we can get that Mastiha out, because it does get sort of gluey and you don't want that in your drink. You want it to be really nice and pure. About the watermelon, it is best to use a seedless watermelon for this. Mine is one that has seeds, so we're just going to manually take the seeds out. Not something I love to do, but I'm going to use what I've got. That's my motto. When you want to pick out a really good sweet watermelon, you're going to look for the webbing to be a little bit far apart, and you're also going to look for a little bit of an orangey type peachy spot. This is a little bit more on the yellow side. Hope it's sweet. If not, we have the simple syrup for it. But the most flavor comes with the watermelons that have like a spot where it's been sitting on that started to become a little peach, orangey. Those are going to be super duper sweet. Let's cut into this and see tile. Tile is like what it says in Greek. Really, it means what it looks like. Oh yes, this looks so sweet. So if your watermelon is seedless, all you have to do is cut it into slices, take the rind off, and then just pop it all in a blender. But since mine isn't, I'm going to first take it off of the rind, and I'm just going to hand pick the seeds out. Again, not something that I love doing, but I'm going to use what I have. And we go through lots of watermelon. Like one watermelon lasts 2 days in our house. That's it. And you don't have to worry about getting each and every seed out. We are going to strain it afterwards. Just as many as you can, get them out. If there are a few left in there, don't worry too much about it. So it takes forever to pick out the seeds from the watermelon. So take my advice and start off with a seeded watermelon. It's going to save so much time. And it's going to save your nerves too, because it's just too much. I did end up with some seeds, but that's okay because I'm going to strain them out later. So before you puree it, what you're going to want to do with the leftover watermelon, you can make little watermelon cubes with it, so that way they can be used to keep the drink nice and cold. Plus they look pretty, because if you're going to use ice cubes, once they melt, they're going to turn into water, and it's going to water it down and take away from that delicious fresh flavor. So take a little mini ice cream scoop and go ahead and scoop out little balls of watermelon and put them in a dish and set them in the freezer until they freeze solid. They're going to be perfect for serving this drink with. Then you're going to want to transfer all of the watermelon flesh in your blender, and you're going to blend it until it's nice and smooth. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take it and strain it. It is important to strain it so it stays nice and thin and refreshing. So even though you're going to strain all that pulp out, some might make it through depending on how fine your strainer is, your mesh is. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to let it sit for a little while, and whatever froth rises to the top, you can go ahead and skim it off. Then chill it in the refrigerator until you're ready to serve, or you could serve it straight away if you have the little watermelon ice cubes ready to go. Then go ahead and put it out and serve it with a little bit of mint. I don't like to mix the Mastiha and Rose simple syrup into the whole thing, because I like for my guests or for my family to customize it and put in as much or as little as they want. And some people might not want any at all. They just might want that real fresh taste of the watermelon. So I just put a tiny bit of mine and I garnish it with a little sprig of mint. I put some ice cubes into the cup and it is time to take a sip. That is so refreshing. The floral taste of the rose water goes so well with the bright, bright taste of the Mastiha. Mastiha is basically mastic gum and it has a very piney type of a flavor. So if you like that freshness, you're gonna love this. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. The recipe is in the description box down below, and all of the variations that you can make are gonna be on the blog post on dimitrasdishes.com. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you on the next one. Yes, Ess?